Get received.
We stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Please turn off your cell phone. Turn the ringers off. I gotta do myself. Okay. We'll have the roll call.
Donna Mosier. Eileen Dunn.
Here.
Rick Agler.
Here.
Brenda Owens. Here. Barry Burgess.
Here.
Lemay Nyford. Here. And Ed Weiner.
Here. Okay, at this time, proof of notice, John?
Yes, Ed, as per your documents, the Florida statute notice was posted.
All right, a motion would be in order for the disposition of the prior meeting minutes.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Okay, treasury report.
I have submitted a written treasurer's report.
Do we have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Eileen?
Just a question, Rick. How saves our money? We move some to that new CP thing.
Our money is completely safe. As I jokingly used to say, I took it all and transferred it to my personal offshore account, so it's good, but that is a joke, everybody. Yeah, we have transferred roughly $250,000 to this Cornerstone. It's actually underneath it, so we stay in the FDIC, although they can break it up and put in different banks themselves for us. We are now, when we took it out of the other bank, we had a 2-month penalty. The 2-month penalty amounted to $17 and some cents. Meanwhile, we're now earning with just this $250,000, we're earning roughly $33 a day versus the other $17 over 2 months. So I think this was, and we're still following through with more money. We're getting it, but we have to. It's easy to put it in. It's tough to take it out of these banks. They'll be shaking your head, yes, because there's a workhorse of everything, you know. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, manager's report, John?
Okay, so as far as the seawall is concerned, the foam injection has been completed and the installation of the drain vents in the seawall. I just met with the concrete guy that's replacing the concrete pad on the one side. I met with him on Monday to go over it. He should be here any day now to finish up that part of the project. The permit for the new wall installation was submitted either on Monday or yesterday of this week, and we're still waiting for that updated proposal from for the contractor. As I said, the stable soils part of the project has been completed, and we also, that contract was for the amount of $42,500. The final billing for that was close to $32,000. So we saved between 20 and 25% off of that total number, which it will more than pay for the extra amount that we're paying for the concrete contractor. So that's good news. 5,200 is the total amount for the concrete contractor. So we saved about 10,000. And so overall, we're knocking about 5,000 off of that total bill. And we're also hoping that the original contract with Nichols for the new seawall at 29.2, we're hoping to see at least a couple thousand come off of that because it's reduced in scope. I just talked to the electrician yesterday about the new panels for the pool, and he's still waiting for, he didn't tell me how much of the material he's still waiting for, but he said that they're still waiting for materials to come in from the less expensive supplier. He didn't really have an update. We told him sooner is better than later. Maintenance staff, a lot of landscaping, a lot of leaf cleanup, and some of you may have noticed that we continue our lifelong mission of swapping out old lights and light fixtures with LED bulbs. So I think that's a plus. The stump grinding proposal that was approved at the last meeting for some of the palmetto clusters and some other work has been completed. We have another proposal later on the agenda for more of the same. Violations, de-restriction violations for the month, total number 149, 87 were new, and 81 have been resolved over that month.
Any questions for John? May?
I just want to say thank you, John. I know how much you are back and forth with contractors and pushing to get bids for us, and that.
We have a mic, please. Thank you.
Sorry. I wanted to thank John for, he's constantly pushing our contractors and to get the best bids and to get them in on time and to get them cut when they don't do the amount of work that they said they were originally doing. And as far as the stump grinding, if you come in Ponderosa from Little on that end, right as you turn in here on the right-hand side, you can see how that has been cleaned out. We had a lot of those, what are they, palmettos, the small palmettos, which to me are weeds that were growing up, and that was all cleared out, and it looks really good. So thank you.
Eileen?
John, are we doing anything about the landscape down by Madeira?
What part of landscaping are we talking about?
Just doesn't look that good. I mean, are we planting anything down there?
The last thing that we planted was, I believe it was last summer, I forget exactly when, but they stole half of it and we took the other half and put it elsewhere, and nobody's talked to me about doing anything since that. We have had some donations of plants that we've put out there, and there actually, some of them are blooming. Jennifer, you've noticed that, right? The only thing we've done since the flowers were stolen last year is plant donated
I
plants.
know, and they're probably gonna take them again, but we have money to set aside in the budget to keep, and that's really the only one that we can keep up because the others have been ordered. Guess I'd like to see something there.
Could we have it quiet in the audience, please? Thank you. Barry? Barry?
Oh, I just wanted to say in regards to what you were saying, we talked about that in one of the meetings and decided to move everything that was left and not do anything there.
Okay, moving on. Engineering services.
I don't really have anything to add to that other than we don't know how long the permit process is going to take for the new wall, and this week I've now asked, the contractor 2 more times to submit that addition. I wanted that proposal for this meeting, so.
Okay, I skipped a few things there, so.
And just to let me finish up, so hopefully any day now, a new proposal is gonna come in that's gonna be less than the amount that's previously approved. And I think the board gave you authorization to sign a new lower cost proposal without waiting for another meeting. I think you guys have done that.
Okay, we got committee reports, starting with the art committee.
Ed Hubbard, you may need to.
Ed Heber for the art committee. We have recommended 34 for approval, 1 for review that was partially okay. And the house painting was okay, but the driveway paint did not meet the requirements.
Excuse me. John, could you step over to the wood shop and ask them to quit whatever they're doing until the meeting's over with? Thank you. Go ahead, Ed.
That's our report. 34 have been approved, 1 disapproved halfway. The house paint was fine, but the driveway was not. It was actually a house paint color that they used, and that's not acceptable.
LeMay?
I make a motion that we approve the 34 with the stipulation on the one on Mascara Drive.
Second. I second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
I don't think we need to do the one that was declined since it's covered in the first one.
Yeah.
Good.
That's fine.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
Other committees? Finding? Okay, what about the Veterans Committee? Jennifer?
Thank you. We submitted a letter to you with our recommendations on the Veterans Honor Area, where we recommended is to the left of the sidewalk leading to the gazebo. It's a self-contained area, no impede, nothing that would get in the way to do a nice memorial or nice area there. So,
On your proposal,
yes.
15 to 20,000 for a monument, is that?
We're probably a little high on that, but I'd rather, our thinking was let's go a little high and then if it comes in much less, that's great.
So you haven't got any bids or anything that would
Not on that.
give you that kind of a estimate?
We've, unfortunately, the 3 people on the committee, 2 of them have been quite busy lately with other issues and we haven't been able to concentrate on getting a lot of the facts and figures as far as the monument. We do have information on the other things, so.
Okay, is there any questions for Jennifer? LeMay?
Where you're putting those, Jen, isn't there a tree there? Will that impede?
No
Nothing
tree.
there that would block it?
And it doesn't interfere with Tuesday night's gathering. There's the electric nearby. We looked at other areas, and this is the one area that we all agreed would be appropriate with the flag over the water.
Rick?
Mr. President, I just received this committee report. It's sitting on my table when I got here. It looks like a very good report, and you know me, I'm all for any of the veterans. But I don't think we should take any action today until we, read it, go out and look at the site, and investigate investigate it. So, but I do appreciate it. It's a great report. It's very detailed. Thank
This
you.
is just a preliminary report. If you want us to follow through, we'd be glad to, but we need that approval to follow through to get more accurate quotes and more information.
Okay, one question I have,
Mhm.
the plaques, would they be like the brass plaques that you see?
They're round, 12 inches circular, and each one would represent one of the branches of the services.
And they're made out of brass or?
They're metal, yes. And they would, we were thinking of mounting them on a concrete pillar, so they're up a bit, so they're not a trip hazard, but yet they'd still be visible.
Eileen?
Where would this be located?
Go outside. Go towards the gazebo. There's a sidewalk leading to the gazebo to the left.
To the left of the gazebo?
Well, yeah, on the left of the sidewalk. So there's already sidewalk on two sides.
Brenda?
Yeah, there's a picnic table there now.
So I'm concerned about flooding in this area. Any flood maps? Do we know? We don't have any flood information about it.
We did have flooding there, I know, before everything was redone and the flood area was redone. But I'm sure it can be built in such a way that even if it floods, it wouldn't harm anything that's put there. This isn't like anything wooden or,
No, it wouldn't,
I'm thinking you're talking concrete or granite and metal flagpoles, so that really shouldn't be a concern.
pretty sturdy materials because we want it to be long range. You know, we don't want to keep redoing it every year or even every 10 years. We'd like something permanent and appropriate.
No, no.
Well, then can we make the motion to let them go? Can we make the motion to let them go ahead and proceed to get us more information and more bids?
I don't think we need a motion. I think we can just direct you to go ahead
Okay,
and get some quotes and
glad to.
give us a little better idea of the plan and
Well,
we'll.
the plan
proceed
would be
from
the
there.
same. It's just the cost that we probably have to fine tune.
Okay, thank you very much for
Thank you.
your.
Thank
work.
you to that committee for your work on this. That's great.
Any other committees before we talk about the budget committee? Rick, did you want to talk about this budget?
Yeah, I'd like, excuse me, I seem to have lost part of my voice today. I'd like to make a motion to appoint the people who have signed up on the sign-up sheet for the budget committee. I'd like to appoint them to the budget committee, Chris Dabrowski, Patty Weisley, Dave Tiller, Karen Fritsch, Bonnie Lipsky, Sue Muniak, and Rob Sapernowski. Rob, are you here? Thank you. I'd like to, I have made that motion now I need a second.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Then I'd like to,
Opposed? Carried.
okay, then I'd like to announce that this committee and all those that are here would meet immediately after this meeting for an organizational meeting only. I'm not going to present figures to you or anything at that time, but at least we'll select to the chairman and any other administrative items that we need to do with that. Immediately following this meeting. And we'll pick a room, go there. So if the dining room over here is open, it's got stuff, I'll tentatively pick that.
You mean the porch?
Porch.
Okay. New business, fines and suspensions.
I move to find the owner of 1125 Rolandwood Drive, $50 per day for window air conditioning unit that is in violation of Toxis covenants up to $5,000.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
I move to find the owner of 10709 Footprint Lane, $50 per day for rubbish outside storage that is in violation of Toxis covenants up to $5,000.
We have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
That completes the fines.
Donna?
Were any fines given out to these real estate people that are refusing to put deed restrictions? There's at least 5 houses in here that I have seen. that
They
do
are
not have
in
an owner.
process, but we don't find the real estate company, we find the owner.
And they all wait till the final notice and then they seem to be able to find their deed restrictions and put them on.
Okay, we have a tree proposal under new business. John?
Ed, this is for, on the large portion of Oaks Park on the right side, there's a large palmetto cluster there. That's for, the proposal is just to clean up that area for $2,200.
Any discussion? Lemay?
Is this the ones with the coyotes that we're thinking? For information only. This is in Oak Park and it is, the trees are up, but all underneath, there's a nice bed of palmettos, and John and maintenance have noticed that there seems to be a lot of traffic through there. We're thinking coyotes. We've gotten quite a few complaints about coyotes. We're hoping to clear that out and eliminate that nesting site.
Rick?
Did we get, is this a one bid item or is this, we have other, you've done other? 2,200 seems a little high, but I don't know.
This is just a tree company that we've kind of gravitated towards because he's been the low bidder on other projects.
Eileen?
What would it cost, John? What would it cost to have it sprayed that area? Pest control.
We also want the stumps ground out. It's to clear out all of the scrub brush, the palmettos, and it's also to grind out the stumps. We're hoping to eliminate a nesting site for coyotes. We also want to clean that area up and make it more appealing to the eyeballs.
We just sprayed it. Could we get by without having to spend $2,200 to clear that out?
It would look better if we left it alone.
Lemay?
I think if we spray that, if anything, we'd have to spray to try and get rid of the weeds or the scrub that's in there. It would look atrocious. We have the money. This is something that I think should be done and aesthetically would look much better. And I think everyone's complaining about coyotes. We need to get rid of this as soon as possible. And the work that they did, that was the site I was saying on the right side of the driveway as you come in over here. That's where they took out all those palmettos and ground the stumps down. And I think we need to do that out there so that it's taken care of and we don't have to worry about it.
It's also, when we say we're grinding out a palmetto cluster for $2,200, it sounds trivial for a large amount of money. It's not trivial. It's a good deal. It's a large amount of work. They're going to remove probably about a dozen scrub trees that are range in diameter from 3 inches to 10 inches. They're going to clean up the oak trees that are remaining in that area. And the palmettos, there's probably enough palmetto total waste that they're going to remove out of there would probably fill easily a 10-yard container. It's a lot of work that they're going to do in there.
Can I make a motion?
Sure.
I make a motion that we approve the $2,200 to remove the palmettos and roots in Oak Park.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. pond proposal?
There's been a lot of conversation, a lot of complaints, looking into ways we can improve the pond conditions. We've talked to the current contractor, we've talked to the folks in the office, and about a week ago, I was able to talk to the gentleman that actually services the property, and very knowledgeable young fellow. We put our heads together, mostly his head. I was mostly ears for that conversation. But he gave us 2 proposals, and he's given us a guarantee that this will solve all of our problems and make our homeowners happy if we proceed with. And basically, he wants to change the current contract from 1 treatment per month to 2 treatments per month, and then do some extra servicing on the Dollar Lake Pond.
Any questions from the board? LeMay?
I think this is a great idea. I don't know about anyone else, but I'm often, reading out by the pool, and if the wind blows right, you get that disgusting water coming on you, which stinks to high heaven, and I think we need to do something to get rid of this. And if he's going to guarantee it, I don't think he knows our homeowners, but it sounds good to me.
Any other board members? Brenda?
What's the current contract?
So the current contract, we've got 2 proposals. The one is $880 to do the extra treatment to Dollar Lake. That's above and beyond the existing contract. The one proposal that's $425 per month, that price that we're paying now for 1 service a month, Debbie can probably knows better than I do, but I think it's about $225, $240, something like that. $263. We're doubling the service, but we're probably getting about an 80% increase.
Okay, which one do you recommend?
It's both.
Oh, okay.
If anyone's paid attention to what Dollar Lake looks like, and I went there with the technician, and he's showing me the weeds that he's talking about, and the ones that respond to what they're doing now, and the ones that don't respond to the chemicals that they're using now, and it makes sense.
Rick, did you have something?
Yeah, I want to make sure I know what I'm voting on here, because at first I was looking at it, and I thought I saw $9,048, and then also $9,949. And I realized those are estimate numbers, not dollars. So let's get back down to real earth here. So I'm voting on whether the add to a second herbicide treatment of 880, or is that a total for 2 of them?
That's the total for the extra treatments to Dollar Lake.
Is this one time?
It's a one-time.
Okay, so the 880 is a one-time charge, and the 425 is an increase from the 263 that we were paying monthly before.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Dale?
Al Thompson, Hachita Drive. I'm trying to figure out what it used to cost us to keep the lake so clean. What I'm trying to say is, all of a sudden, the lake got really bad, and people live along the lake have noticed that. They've also seen how less is being done around the lake. In fact, somebody actually took a video of the guy, which I have, going around the lake, and he's spraying this little bit of stuff that's maybe going 2 or 3 feet out into the lake. I believe, now this is hearsay, that we used to actually go out in a boat and do the whole lake, and the people that asked about it were told that for some reason now they can't go out in the boat. So all of a sudden, the lake is looking really, really bad. And before I spent any more money, I would want to know, why is it looking bad all the time? And are they still doing as much as they used to do? Or are they just raising the price now and to go back to doing what they were doing all along? In other words, why are they doing less now than they used to, and all of a sudden raising the price to make it nice?
John can answer I don't believe they are doing less than they used to. I think this was always done. I know the boat goes out with some of our maintenance men to pick up trash that is in the lake. I don't know if they ever went out. I will let John answer that. The
I used to boat.
Eileen, can you wait? I will recognize you after she's done.
The biggest problem we've had with the lake is the lack of rain. We have not had enough rain. You can see the lake just drying up. As the lake dries up, it becomes shallower. When it's shallower, the sun reaches the weeds and they grow like crazy. So to double up on it, I think is the only answer to it. And hopefully we can cure the problem of the weeds and the odor that comes from it. John, did they go out in the boat?
That's before my time, and it's probably a previous contractor, but yes, a boat has been used. This current contractor offers boat service. It's not included in the current contract, but they do offer it at additional charge. But the technician on site doesn't think it's necessary.
Okay, Eileen, did you have something? Eileen?
They went out in the boat and they were able to get everything from the boat. But sometimes they didn't have their boat and they didn't do as good a job when they didn't have their boat.
Donna?
Is this also going to take care of the lake that's at the end of Ranch Road? Are they treating that one too?
They don't treat any of the golf course property.
That's county property. John?
Yes, I have a question for John. The new contract, is it going to take care of the west side of the lake, which is not being sprayed and has not been sprayed for the last 2 or 3 years? The growth is horrendous all along the seawall. That's why they used to use the boat, and they got away from it, and now it hasn't been treated in years, the whole west side of the lake.
It's supposed to cover the entire pond.
Yeah, well, I hope we follow up onto it because that's what the other one's supposed to do too. So anyway, that was my question. Thank you.
It is guaranteed, John, so if you see problems, let us know.
I will.
Rick?
I live on the east side of the lake and we do have a guy go by. I apologize to John if he doesn't get through that. We also, somewhere in there, John, 10 years ago, added aerator systems. And we need to make sure that they're adequate. And whoever made the comment about the lake being lower and it's more of a problem is absolutely correct. As we see the lake get down, my sister's property had to go into the water one time to do it. It is so rough in that garage door fully closed, stripped totally in the garage because I didn't want anything in my house before I walked directly to my shower. It is a rough lake and we need to do that. And of course, while we're thinking that, just a side note, absolutely no fishing or keeping those fish because they've got to be totally polluted with all the chemicals we add to our lake. Thank you.
Okay, a motion would be in order to approve this additional. Okay, second. Barry? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Is Stephen or Lois Brzezinski here? We have correspondence.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Can you hear me? Working?
Into the mic.
Okay, there seems to be a little discrepancy about this camera light situation. I thought it was taken care of when I had you people over, but apparently it's not. I did get a second notice. I did talk to Ed here on Monday, okay? I tried to print pictures, but I couldn't get them to you in time today. Okay? The light has been dimmed and it has been facing my house. It was just a simple adjustment. I have pictures on my phone if you'd like to see, but I couldn't print them as of the meeting. I got problems with my phone. So I don't see what the problem would be. It's a security camera. It's a motion light. And I took out a dusk to dawn light that was on constant. From dusk to dawn. I guess the lady,
You have a question, Eileen?
Did you put an arc in?
we put an arc in after the fact. Yes,
Did you get approval?
no ma'am.
Like, yes or no?
No ma'am, because we had problems with our neighbor.
The man?
I'm on the art committee. Part of the rules for the art committee is that in order, if you have a light, even if it's a security light or whatever light it is, and it points directly into your neighbor's window, it is not allowed unless your neighbor allows it to be approved, which they have not. They have also sent pictures of their master bedroom with the light on, and it is like it's like daylight in their room. We asked, Ed and I both came out, looked at your light, and we asked that you send us pictures, and that was probably, was it a month ago? 3 weeks at least.
Well,
And we asked you to send us a picture, if you could move the light down so that we could see it was not directed there at all. We have not yet received the pictures. The fact that you took a picture today doesn't help us. And until we would say, okay, that's not in violation, the violations continue. So it will continue until final notice and fining unless that light is kept off or unless we approve it, which we will not approve unless your neighbor allows it. It points direct, even if it's pointing down, it will shine in their master bedroom. And that's not allowed without their permission. As a member of the art committee, and Ed can back me up on this, it's not allowed. That's why the art was turned down.
so what is your recommendation? I put the dusk to dawn light back up?
Dustin, where is that light?
Right where the light was.
Not unless you get permission from the art, which you will not unless your neighbors approve it. If it shines in your neighbor's windows, master bedroom, it will not be approved. And that's for everyone in Timber Rose.
Sir, could I just interrupt, because I think you're misinterpreting something?
What's that?
You're saying dusk to dawn light, that's a light comes on all night.
Right,
Well, are you talking about a motion light?
that was there. I replaced it with a motion light and camera. It's a ring system. It's a security system.
It's not on unless there's a motion outside?
That's correct, sir.
Eileen?
Can you relocate it to another position that it won't shine in her bedroom window when it goes on?
Yes, I have it aimed at the house right now. I can show you the light right now. I don't have pictures. I can get pictures and have them brought to you, but I don't have it right now. That's the problem. I did
John,
make sure.
we're talking about one light right now. There's lights and cameras on both sides of the house and the front of the house, and we don't have approval for any of them. So it's a larger conversation than one light on one side of the house.
And John, this is my time, not your time. You follow my wife home, harass my wife, tell her you're gonna get more violations. We don't do that. I have a picture right there.
We're not gonna have, well, conflict.
I don't, this is what I'm trying to explain. How the lights towards my house.
We're on the side?
Right. They're going towards my house and not being at his house. They were when we first put it up. That was my mistake. Reposition. And within them, you can dim the system.
Where do they shine?
What do you mean? They're right there. They're shining right along my wall.
Okay, so they're going off to the wall.
To the wall. They're not going straight out in. That was my mistake. I adjusted it.
Did you talk to your neighbor
I
about
can't
this?
talk to you. This isn't retaliation for something else. I don't think, and there's also another problem.
Can I say something? First off, I don't think we should have the discussion without them hearing it. And as far as it only coming on when there is motion, that is true, but they also are able to turn it on and off at will. The animosity between these two neighbors is not good. I don't recommend anything that escalates the problem that you have with your neighbors. If I were you, I would make sure that light is off put in an arc for the rest of your lights, which should be approved unless they again shine into the master bedroom on the other side. You are not gonna get permission for a light on that side of your house with the master bedroom of the house next to you being right there. Whether it shines on your house, it will still cast light into their master bedroom. That is the problem, and that is the rule of the arc. We cannot approve it.
But the house came with a light. What, that don't make no
If there
sense.
was a light on, that it came with a light, it was never approved by the ARC. And the light situation, all the security lights and everything else was put to what rules had to be written up for that. And that was one of the rules that was written up and that was passed within the last 9 months, I would say.
Security light? Or
Security lights, all lights on your system have to be approved. We have had lights that were like spotlights that shone down a backyard into the master bedroom of a house behind it. And there was a good distance. Those rules were put into effect to help everyone. You would not like if someone put a motion light or a dusk to dawn light outside your master bedroom and it turned on at all times. Those motion lights will go on with a dog going through, with squirrels, you name it. It cannot be allowed.
So the contractors should be fine then. They put the light up. They put a light.
You are responsible for obeying the laws in Timber Oaks, the ARC laws and specifications. If you don't tell your contractor, that's your problem, not theirs.
I bought the house this way.
That light was not there when you bought the house.
Not this one that I put up, no. I'll admit that, but there was a light there before.
So you're talking about the porch light,
It was on the
that was
side
there
door. It's
before.
on the side door of the house.
a typical light outside the
Everybody
door.
has them if you have a garage door, correct? You probably have
Correct.
one, yes. And it goes on.
John,
We're flipping again from the side of the house, now we're talking about the garage door lights.
no,
So there's some confusion
it's
here,
the
right?
side door for the
It's right, but
garage.
he just mentioned the spotlight, the dusted on light that was above the garage door.
No, not the garage door, the side garage door, the entrance.
Okay, your time's up.
So just give me an answer. What do I do? Just tell me.
Turn the light off.
The light is off. So I
That
can
has to
leave,
stay off.
so I can leave the light off, but I can leave it there with the camera.
The camera can come on, the light may not.
So just want to get this straight, so. Because I'm not the smartest bulb in the room, but if I leave the light with the camera, it's fine. As long as the light does not come on. So then I can, every light that shines in my room, I can write it up and complain to the board about somebody else.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, that's fine, that's all I wanted to know. Thank you very much.
okay. Any other business from the board? Motion to adjourn?
May I say one thing? I don't know if you, probably a number of you have tried to use the pool. We had a problem with one of the pumps. Unfortunately, it was a 3 horsepower pump. Pool medic did come, so there's been no heat to the pool, and of course, we've had really cold nights. So the temperature has dropped. John, can you update that? Did you talk to pool medic? They are here now.
Yeah, he got here about 11:45, and when our meeting started, he was still out there, so that's not a good sign.
It's a
That's normally about a half an hour job for them to do that, and I hope he's gone and it's working when we adjourn the meeting.
Did he say any, do they have a 3 horsepower?
Came with the pump.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Because a 3
He can't-
horsepower is not normally carried. 1 and 2 are, of course, it was our 3 horsepower that one. So that's where we stand at this point.
Do we still use chlorine in the hot tub?
No,
Why
Oh,
is
no,
there
wait.
such a strong leach smell?
you will have chlorine if, for instance, if the hot tub gets really bad, and for some reason it did a few times with dirt and debris, mostly because of all the blowing, the winds that we've had and the leaves and the pollen, and it's just been horrible. They will drain that hot tub in order to clean it and make sure everything is running right. It takes a while for salt to generate. So if that happens, chlorine is added so that we are at the right chemical balance. So you can use it right away. Otherwise, you'd probably have to wait hours or a day at least to be able to use it.
Eileen,
Just to remind everybody, the voting box is out there. Don't forget to vote.
okay. Meeting, motion to adjourn. Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Okay, is there any open forum?
Sue Muniac, Versailles Lane. A few months ago, I was up here also asking why the missing board member hasn't been replaced. You are doing a disservice to all of us. I'm not saying you're not doing your jobs, you're doing your jobs. But one other vote can make a difference on some of the things that are there. You have a duty to replace. I know you don't have to. I know it does not say in the bylaws that you have to replace it by a certain time. But I would have hoped by now you would have found somebody or advertised for people to put in applications so that you could pick from the applications. I feel it would be the only fair thing to do for the residents.
I'll answer that.
Okay.
The reason why we haven't appointed someone to that position is we're going to wait until after the election.
Why?
Because if we wait till the meeting after the election to appoint someone, then they can serve 2 terms after
Yeah.
that without being penalized.
Okay, but we have been without that director for what? 8 months? 7 months?
September, I think it was.
And there has been no vote. That would have been changed by 1 vote.
That's not the point.
Well, it is to us.
The point is that the opinion of that person would have been heard. Whether that opinion was with the majority or not. I'm just saying, 7 months we've been sitting. I understand the waiting for the election. I know that, but I could say what's been on Facebook, that you've waited, and it's not for me, but you've waited so you could appoint someone who couldn't have been appointed at the other time. That's all. Thank you.
Rick?
Yes, I'm not going to comment on the prior 8 months. We've had some differences of opinion in the board, and that's normal. Okay, but from right now, definitely against appointing somebody until after our election, and I think you've agreed with that. And so, but everybody else knows, if we would appoint somebody today or before this coming election, then that person would lose their eligibility to run for 2 terms. It just, so from sometime either today, 4th, or maybe sometime earlier, I'm in total agreement, hold off the appointment until either, I don't know whether we can do it at an organizational meeting or a meeting later that month, or even consider it, but at least get it involved. Okay, thank you.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you to all your volunteers, because I think without you guys, we wouldn't be here. You know, you guys do a great job. And I was at the meeting the other night, and this wasn't my question, but a question came up about what are you going to do about the entrances? And one of the answers was, we can't put plants out there because they steal them. Well, what about like stones or shells or some kind of ground covering that would help make the entrance look better? And then there was a question last month, I just want to go back just real quick, about the fences. What about if people want fences? Live fences, you're allowed to have a live fence. Why not put up a live fence if that's what you want to keep your neighbors from looking in your yard? That's all I got. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Anna Sinker, 14116. I agree with Sue Rodiak. One other person's opinion could have made a difference on a vote. I don't think it was right to wait until a new board sits up there. This person resigned under this board. And our documents state that we have 8 board members. So I think if you took the interest of the residents at heart, you would have replaced somebody. And to hold off so somebody could run 2 more terms, I was a board member, I chose to only serve 1 term. You know, you're saying that everybody in here, only wants to serve 4 years? You know, that's, you're speculating here. That's just wrong. I really feel that you've done a disservice to the residents.
Gail Thompson had cheated drive. I was kind of iffy on whether I was gonna get up here, but I'm just curious if what went on in the past few months is done and over with. I'm sure if you took a vote, everybody would probably agree with Ann and Susan. My concern now is that if we have 4 people to vote for to sit up there right now, and we're picking 3 of those, wait a minute, I'm getting this wrong. Okay, all right, what I'm trying to find out is if Ed and LeMay and either Bill or Chris gets picked, is the one that's not picked the one that's gonna have the right to come up and, or is it gonna be somebody altogether new that you're gonna have to vote all over and have somebody else run? Or do you just get to pick a friend out of the top of your head?
That's a decision of the board.
Carol Kidd, Rollingwood Drive. As a new walker of Ponderosa, I'm wondering what it would entail to have some more benches put around the loop. Some of us need to rest, especially when you're first starting out. And sitting on utility boxes and pump stations, I'm just wondering what it would take to get a few more benches put around the loop.
We can look into that. I think it's a good idea. It has to be done on our property. It can't be done on any residential property.
I would think right by the sidewalk. There's others around, but they all seem to be over this direction, none this direction.
We can check into prices and maybe bring that up for a vote at the next meeting.
Thank you.
Where the bench used to be right behind my house, they took the bench away and never replaced it, but the cement blocks are still there to set one on.
Is it on your property, Dale, or is it on the other side?
No, it's on the other side of the sidewalk. Well, they moved it, I don't know why, people used to sit on it all the time.
And yeah, it can't be on a right of way either, but we can look into that. I don't see any problem with it. I'd have to have one every block, so it might be a bit excessive.
I went on my cane to see that.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, Budget Committee.